Welcome to History from the Toilet. Hi, I'm Chris, and I have created a compilation of some of my favorite bizarre and funny facts over the last few months that I've shared with you. I hope you guys enjoy it. Sit back, relax, have fun, and enjoy the fun flush facts, the bizarre stuff, and the wild and crazy stuff. And hey, don't forget to hit subscribe. The Second Crusade was the first official crusade led by European kings, and it bombed harder than a medieval catapult. After the fall of Edessa in 1144, Pope Eugenius III called for reinforcement. Two kings answered the call, Louis VII of France and Conrad III of Germany. Sounds epic, right? Not really. The march across Anatolia was a nightmare. Bad planning, starving armies, ambushes, and disease wiped out huge numbers before they even reached the Holy Land. When they finally attacked Damascus in 1148, things went from bad to worse. The Crusaders bungled the siege so badly that their own allies abandoned them. The Second Crusade ended with 0 victories, a lot of dead soldiers, and 2 embarrassed kings limping home. Proof that medieval Europe mastered the art of sequel fail centuries before Hollywood. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. It all began with bread. Literally. So in 1917, Russia was starving. Food shortages, soaring prices, and a brutal winter pushed people past their limits. Women, workers, and soldiers filled the streets demanding bread, fair wages, and change. What started as bread riots exploded into, strikes and clashes with authorities, spreading across Petrograd until Tsar Nicholas II was forced to abdicate, therefore ending the centuries of the Romanov rule. But ending the monarchy wasn't the end of the story. The new provincial government kept Russia into World War I, but couldn't solve the hunger crisis. That's when Lenin and the Bolsheviks stepped in, rallying the people with their promises of peace, land, and bread. They used the momentum from the February Revolution to build support, and by October, they completely overthrew the government, launching one of the most dramatic revolutions of the 20th century. All because a loaf of bread rose up, and so did Lenin. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. The 90s weren't just about grunge music and baggy jeans. They were about the console wars. Sega and Nintendo went head-to-head like gladiators in an arcade. Sega launched the savage slogan, "Genesis does what Nintendo don't." Suddenly, every playground debate turned into a battlefield. Kids had to pick a side. Were you Team Sonic with the spiky attitude, or Team Mario with the power-ups and princess saving? Commercials got edgier, mascots got sassier, and the rivalry pushed both companies to innovate faster than ever. It wasn't just about games, it was about identity. Forget politics, this was the real rivalry of the decades. And honestly, the only winners were the kids with both consoles. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. Fortnite didn't just make you play, it made you socialize, dance, and compete. Released in 2017, Fortnite's free-to-play Battle Royale mode quickly exploded into popularity. Its constant updates, quirky skins, and iconic dances kept players hooked. Streamers, celebrities, and millions of teens, turned the game into a cultural stage. From impromptu collaborations to massive in-game events, Fortnite blurred the lines between gaming and social life. From epic battles to virtual pop concerts, Fortnite didn't just change games, it rewrote the rules of social entertainment. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. The Boston Tea Party wasn't just about tea. It was one of the boldest acts of rebellion in American history. On December 16, 1773, a group of colonists disguised themselves as Native Americans, slipped aboard 3 British ships, and dumped over 90,000 pounds of tea into Boston Harbor. That's roughly $1.7 million in today's money, so enough to brew about 18 million cups of tea. To them, it wasn't about the drink at all. It was a fiery statement against taxation without representation. Overnight, Boston Harbor turned into one giant teapot, and Britain was pissed. This single act led directly to harsh punishment from the crown and pushed the colonies one step closer to war. One splash didn't just waste tea, it started a revolution. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. Did Christopher Columbus accidentally record a UFO sighting on his voyage? In 1492, while sailing across the Atlantic, Columbus and his crew saw mysterious lights moving across the horizon. His logbook describes them as glowing, darting in and out of the sky, far too strange to be stars or lanterns. Some historians think it was natural phenomena like, meteors or atmospheric lights, but UFO theorists argue it was something much more otherworldly. Imagine being on a wooden ship in the middle of the ocean with no land in sight, then suddenly unexplained lights appear above the waves. Maybe Columbus didn't just discover a new world, maybe he stumbled onto an other world. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. In Maine, breaking into spontaneous dance could technically make you an outlaw. Back in the day, Maine had what were called blue laws. These laws controlled everything from when shops could open to whether you could cut loose on the dance floor. So taverns needed a special permit just to let customers enjoy live music or dancing. No permit, no party. Even today, some of those laws are still quietly sitting on the books, meaning in theory, an impromptu jig could still be illegal in certain places. So yeah, before Kevin Bacon, Maine basically invented Footloose. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. What if your full-time job was warming a toilet? In ancient China, emperors lived in absolute luxury, and that meant even their bathroom trips had royal perks. Their toilets were often made of cold stone, and of course, the emperor couldn't be expected to sit on a chilly seat now, could he? So what happened? Servants were assigned the royal duty of sitting there first, literally using their own body to, preheat the throne. Imagine getting hired not as a guard, not as a cook, but as an official toilet warmer. For the emperor, comfort was king. For the servant, well, that's one resume no one brags about. Forget modern seat warmers. These were human butt warmers. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. In the early 1900s, one health fad promised to make you glow from the inside out. Literally. Enter Radiathor, bottled water laced with actual radium. It was marketed as a miracle drink for energy, vitality, and even curing ailments. Celebrities, athletes, and the wealthy swore by it, including millionaire Eben Byers, who downed bottle after bottle. At first, he felt amazing, but radiation poisoning works very, very slowly. His teeth began falling out, his bones weakened, and eventually, his jaw disintegrated completely. By the time doctors caught on, it was way too late, and others had already met the same fate. This was one wellness drink that really did light you up right before it killed you. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. Romans used to put rotten fish juice on everything. It was called garum, and it wasn't just a sauce. It was an obsession. It was made by layering fish gut, salt, and herbs in large vats, then leaving them to bake in the Mediterranean sun for weeks. It eventually turned to a rich, salty liquid. Merchants sold garum by the amphora, and it was used on meats, vegetables, and even desserts. Rich households bought the fancy stuff. Poor families got the bargain brew, but everybody wanted it. When life gives you fish guts, make condiments, Roman style. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. Did a giant turtle give Vietnam a magical sword? Yep. Straight up Excalibur vibes, but think of it as like Southeast Asia. According to legend, King Laloi was gifted a sword by the turtle god Kim Kui in order to help him defeat the Chinese invaders. He won big time. But then the turtle popped back up and said, hey, we'll take that back, thanks for using our divine sword, and he bounced. The lake is now called Huan Kiem, the Lake of the Returned Sword. So the next time you think, Marvel origin stories are too much, just think of Vietnam, giant turtle, magical sword, and all those good fun vibes. There's your fun flush fact for the evening. Have a great night, everybody. What if your hairstyle could get you taxed? Back in ancient China, bangs weren't just a fashion statement, they were a financial liability. Emperor Chen Shi Huang was obsessed with control, and he hated long hair. So anybody he saw with long hair, he would tax them. So to enforce loyalty, he taxed the citizens who didn't, shave their heads. So bald equaled obedient, and, stylish locks equaled insurrection. So if you wanted to keep, your haircut, then you had to cough up some cash. Haircuts weren't just personal, they were, political as well. So forget freedom of expression, this was the bald tax era. So the next time you grumble about a bad haircut, just be glad it doesn't come with a government bill. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. Where is the world's largest cowboy boot? In Texas. Where the hell else would it be? This massive boot stands well over 35 feet tall and is 33 feet long, and it's towering outside of the North Star Mall in San Antonio. It was built in 1979 by artist Bob Daddy-O Wade. They were originally part of a public art project in Washington, D.C., but they later moved to Texas, where they belong, where they become an iconic roadside attraction. They're so big, you can literally park a truck inside of them. And, you know, in Texas, even your fashion accessories are huge because everything is bigger in Texas, right? And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. Mortal Kombat changed gaming forever with blood. Released in 1992, Mortal Kombat shocked players and parents alike with its graphic violence and fatalities. Arcade goers loved it, but the outrage reached Congress, sparking heated debates about video game content. The controversy led to the creation of the ESRB rating system, which still guides gamers and parents today. Without this fight over pixels and gore, modern game ratings might not even exist. No blood, no backlash, no ratings. Thank you, Scorpion. Gaming would never be the same. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. Imagine a sport where the main event is running straight at a raging bull and then trying to vault over it. That was the reality for the Minoans of ancient Crete. Their art shows young men and women sprinting towards massive bulls, grabbing their horns and flipping acrobatically over their backs. But this wasn't just a dangerous game, it was part of their religious ceremonies, likely connected to their worship of the bull as a sacred symbol of, strength and fertility. For Minoans, surviving this ritual meant not only athletic skill, but also divine favor. Some historians even believe these breathtaking feats helped inspire later myths like the Minotaur in the Labyrinth. Forget rodeos, this was ancient parkour with horns. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. America's first serial killer didn't just kill, he built an entire hotel of horrors. In the 1890s, H.H. Holmes designed a Chicago building later dubbed the Murder Castle. It looked like a normal hotel from the outside, but inside was a maze of secret hallways, trapdoors, hidden staircases, and rooms that locked from the outside. Some rooms were soundproof. Others had chutes leading straight to the basement where Holmes kept acid vats and furnaces. Guests checked in for the World's Fair, expecting luxury. Instead, many never checked out. Forget Airbnb. This was air don't breathe. And there's your fun flush fact of the morning. Have a great day, everybody. Prohibition didn't just fuel speakeasies, it made doctors and pharmacists filthy rich. From 1920 to 1933, alcohol was banned in America. But there was a loophole. Doctors could write prescriptions for whiskey as medicine. Suddenly, pharmacies turned into booze dispensaries. Walgreens alone exploded from 20 stores to over 500 during Prohibition. Thanks to all those patients needing a shot of whiskey for their cough, forget house calls. Your doctor could literally write you a note for nightcap. CVS, but make it boozy. And there's your fun flush fact of the evening. Have a great night, everybody. I've got plenty more where that came from, so if you guys had a good time, if you enjoyed it, would you please hit like and subscribe? Share this out with your friends. Let them all know you found something great. I will be here sharing more and more stories, flushing out the facts one seed at a time. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you soon.